I have seen enough. I seen every video they mention are humans OP. Humans were the reason this person had a enemy during this time. Now we're about to find out why humans are OP. All right. Let's get it.
So when the metal hit his mug, he just sunk in place. 100K Holla, chillin' Bahamas. Come home to your crib and throw in your mama.
What is good, HollaSquad? We are the latest squad on the YouTube platform. Listen, today we're back, with another reaction. And we're doing our humans OP. We're going to see how humans broke the game, all right? They're too good. Me being one of them humans, I can see, you know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't going to lie. If I see one of them cave bears, I'm ducking. I'm out of there, boy. But let's get into this, see what we got.
This episode was sponsored by Skillshare. Human beings. Are they as overpowered as the game's community would lead you to believe?
Gotta be.
Short answer, yeah. They're the most meta-defining build of all time, and the undisputed top build in the current expansion. But believe it or not, this wasn't always the case.
Yes,
humans used to get bodied left and right on a daily basis by other players.
That's crazy.
And it took a pretty long time before the player base learned how to actually make use of the human build's unique abilities. The story of the humans' rise to dominance is a really interesting one. And so today, we're gonna do it.
The little kid pet the mammoth, get wrecked, scrub. That's funny, right?
In-depth look at the humans' abilities, their strengths, and their weaknesses. Because yes, they do have weaknesses. We'll also go over notable matchups, and finally look at the steps human players took in order to reach their dominant status.
That's fine.
First, their unique abilities. I touched on this topic in my video about primates, but I'll recap here and also go into more detail. First off the bat, we have their ability to throw things. Other builds can throw things, but humans can do so harder, faster, and further than anyone else. The reason for this is their body structure. Bipedal builds are tough to balance, both in the game development sense and the center of mass sense. Throwing an item with any real force behind it requires serious balance, achieved only by having shorter arms and longer legs. This is why humans can launch projectiles at deadly speeds, whereas other primates kinda just lob things without putting much effort into it. If they tried to, they would knock themselves over. Even if chimpanzees could figure out how to craft a spear, there's no way they could throw it hard enough to deal any significant damage. Next, their stamina regeneration.
Look at us.
Humans can chase down anything. You try to run from a human, you might outspeed them initially, but you'll run out of stamina much sooner than they will, and they'll catch up to you while you're in your weakened state. This is...
Hey, listen. It's my man telling me I can catch a cheetah. Because I ain't going to try, but I'm going to tell people I can catch a cheetah, all right? And I'm going to say I got facts to prove it. And I'm going to quote you, TierZoo, so make sure this is correct. I'm going to try to catch a cheetah, bro. Might not be successful, but I'm not going to try. I don't know why I lied to you. I'm not going to try. I'm going to just tell people I can. Hopefully, they take me at face value.
Partially because of their superior balance again, but mostly it's because of the human build's unique choice to not spec into fur. This gives them access to the extremely broken ability Sweat. Every other current build that's decent at distance running recharges stamina by using the move Pant. This works great, but it does require the user to stop running. Sweat, on the other hand, works better while moving, massively extending the distance a human player can run. They've got a few other important abilities that are essential to their kit, but aren't unique to humans. Their ability to speak is unique among mammals, but some birds can pull it off too. In humans, the ability to speak allows them to use one of their signature moves, Teach, which drastically boosts skill point gain, mitigating the main penalty a player receives upon getting a game over.
Come on
Humans
now.
and birds also share another unique trait, which is being able to stand upright. Standing upright is extremely useful for dealing with stealth builds that might normally be using tall grass to hide. Tool use also might be thought of as a human-exclusive move, and it certainly is the most effective to humans, but it turns out a pretty wide array of other builds can also do it. Birds, primates, cephalopods, and even fish can use tools on occasion.
That's
but
crazy.
Sweating and throwing, uniquely human. Now onto their weaknesses. And yes, it's true that currently most human players can subvert these with their crafting skill. But it's important to recognize that without equipment, the human build isn't necessarily unstoppable. The decision to not have fur granted humans a massive buff to mobility at the cost of stealth. In the mammal faction, fur is a prerequisite to all the major stealth abilities like camouflage, and lack of stealth abilities means getting in close on their targets is a serious challenge. The human build's lack of fur also means they have very low defense, both all the major stealth abilities like camouflage, and lack of stealth.
This man is tripping. I don't care if I nurtured that animal, all right? That tiger, since they was born. I'm not playing with no big old cat like that. Why?
Abilities means getting in close on their targets is a serious challenge. The human build's lack of fur also means they have very low defense, both from physical attacks and from environmental effects.
Tough.
Bare skin offers almost zero armor, to the point where even players from lower weight classes have no trouble dealing damage to humans. And bare skin also takes quite a bit of damage from the sun too.
Facts.
Humans are also pretty limited when it comes to the power stat. Physically, they're the weakest of the great apes, and don't really have any good options for dealing damage. They lack the classic high damage bite attack that nearly every other non-herbivorous
I don't know if that man had the
instead
intelligence,
having to resort
boy.
to blunt attacks like punch and kick, which we all know aren't very effective against builds that have thick fur or skin. The last major weakness I can see is that they're pretty bad at dealing with stealth. The lack of night vision means darkness can really hamper their ability to locate targets. And their lack of a strong sense of smell means camouflage is
Imagine looking
especially
into the
useful
dark and
against
seeing all them wolves.
Okay, now let's talk about matchups. Obviously,
Okay.
a key feature of the human build is being able to craft equipment. Given basic equipment like low-level armor and hunting gear, the human's best matchup is going to be medium-large mammals. Unlike blunt damage, piercing damage is quite effective versus builds with thick hide, but on defense they're
Sheesh.
actually pretty awful. A human's only option on defense against a large mammal is intimidation,
To run.
unless they've got some crazy high-level equipment. But I'll make a video on power creep
God.
later. The classic human equipment cannot stop a charging tank main unless the intimidate attempt works. But overall, this matchup is one of the reasons humans became top tier. Hardly any builds have favorable matchups against tanks. But that's not to say humans don't have their counters though. As I said before, stealth can be really effective against them due to their lack of a keen sense of smell and night vision.
Look at all them
Humans
eyes,
have
boy.
the ability to win pretty
I would
much
just
any
lay
fight
down
as
and
long as
die.
they've got time to prepare. But taken by surprise, humans have a lot fewer options. Another thing humans have trouble dealing with is flight. Even when a human has a ranged weapon, players with high aerial mobility are pretty safe during flight. Now, as far as I know, there aren't any bird builds powerful enough to one-shot humans, which is important because blunt attacks like punches are actually quite effective against birds. Birds have hollow bones that are resistant to tension and torsion, but not compression. This is the opposite of mammal bones, which are resistant to compression and tension, but not torsion. The point is, birds aren't the best choice against humans, but flight has been unlocked by 4 different classes in the game. Birds, which we just discussed aren't a good choice. Bats, which do even less damage than birds. Reptiles, which unfortunately had their
And
aerial builds
insects.
banned in patch 1.3.1. And insects.
Come on now.
Flying eusocial insects have by far the best matchup versus humans in the entire game.
Bro, facts. Mosquitoes be out here. Bro, one tapping me. I be on 1 HP. Ah, my leg. My leg, it hurts. Bro, one mosquito bite, boy. Down for the count.
Humans have zero counterplay against a swarm of stinging insects. I mean, sure, there are special items that they can use to combat swarms if they're prepared, but the amount of human mains who've chosen that as one of their prestige abilities is pretty small.
Facts.
Humans' lack of fur means they have no innate defense against stings. Stings also have the chance to proc the anaphylaxis debuff, which can actually lead to a game over. And it's for this reason that the high score for human eliminations belongs to the Africanized honeybee, known better by its community-given name, the killer bee. And even if the stings don't proc the allergic reaction effect, they will still definitely achieve their primary goal of dropping their resolve to 0 and granting you
So you're telling me the thing that kills humans the most are bees? I would have never guessed.
control over the territory. And we can see that lately the viability of killer bees has only been growing now that they've expanded their territory outside of Africa. Which brings me to my main point.
Why did that stop it? Why did that stop at 2002? I need that list to go all the way to 2021 so I can figure out where I'm going to move, because I'm not living with them things, boy. It will not happen, I promise.
Are humans overpowered? Well, just like the Africanized honeybee, humans really only became OP once they escaped the African server and invaded other areas. Notice how humans took down megafauna across every terrestrial server except Africa. The African tank mains have the matchup experience and counterplay options to deal with the vast array of skills humans have access to. But the rest of the community was totally unprepared to deal with the rapid invasion of new human mains invading their competitive scene.
That's crazy.
In other words, the devs could have prevented the massive destabilization of the current meta if they'd region-locked humans. Staying competitive in the meta requires a good player constantly be leveling up their skills. There's no better example of this than the rapid rise to dominance that humans experienced. If you'd like to level up your own skills and unlock new ones, I highly recommend Skillshare.
That's a nice little ad plug right there, boy. Listen, now we know, you know what I'm saying, how humans took over the globe. Are we OP? Of course. You know what I'm saying? He said he was going to talk about power creep, but I guess that's another video I think there's a video like how humans broke the game that's going to talk about power creep. So actually, we're going to do that one tomorrow because why not? Listen, we've been binging some TierZoo, bro. I'm going to say this channel is amazing. Amazing. All right. All I want to say is, all y'all out there watching, if you're a part of the S tier human group build, go ahead and hit that like button and that sub button. If you're not, if you one of them animals or one of them damn bees, if I got any of those bees watching, please hit the dislike button. I don't like y'all. And y'all came to North America, so I'm going to just move somewhere else. Because I'm not dealing with no bees that can kill me. But y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And until next time, we out of here.